We are up to the final pick of round one here at Hansen's Hints at fantasypoints.com, podcast form, video form. Once again, going through this exercise in late July and early August to draft a team using current ADP from all 12 draft spots to see the trends, to map out an optimal route, which of course is what I've done using the fantasy points generator, my own rankings and projections and thoughts and all that. And now we're up to 12 though. Now it's the back-to-back picks. So you can't mess that up. The question once again is, do we see a running back good enough to take at 13 overall? Or do we just see two wide receivers at 12 and 13? Maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown and Garrett Wilson, for example, that we simply cannot pass up. I just want to get it right, map out the optimal plan, and I've done the legwork, like I said. So without any further ado, we go to the video of me using the fantasy points generator. If you're listening to the podcast, we'll try and make it as painless as possible, not referencing the video all that much, but you can go along and check in on the software as well. So let's head to that video and me drafting a team. It will be Gurific from the number 12 hole. We are back and ready to draft from the number 12 spot. Final podcast / video / article in the series of 12. Drafting and implementing my draft plan from all 12 draft spots. Very, very doable. 12-teamer, 15 rounds will do. Out of the 12 spot, 1 QB starting, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, no kicker, no defense. Forget about them. We'll use 2 flexes, though, and anything but a non-quarterback. PPR scoring, and off we go. And I suspect this will go very similarly to how it went from the 11 hole, because we actually opened with Nick Chubb because we liked him on Ra in round 2, and he was avail in round 2, whereas Nick Chubb may not have been. So we'll go off the software that liked him on Ra. Keep in mind, these are back-to-back picks. What's the reco here? Mahomes, of course. Damn loves Mahomes, but it's just a little too expensive. Now, here's the question, by the way. This is sexy. I mean, this is good, man. We want to be in the wide receiver business. Garrett Wilson is the reco when I check off quarterbacks in the fantasy points generator. So basically between the receivers and tight ends and backs had liked Garrett Wilson. Of course, there's a little bit of randomization in there because there's a guy who's right next to him on the list that's a running back, and that's, of course, Nick Chubb. So I tried both ways, and the Garrett Wilson Amon-Ra route didn't score. It scored like 25 fewer points. It did poor in the rankings, so let's go Chubb. Once again, we go balanced from 12. That's typically the way it is, and it's crazy, but this year is really no exception. Software loves Hawkinson. We, though, are not going to do that. We are actually going to hit wide receiver hard again, just as we've been. We're at 36 overall. Jerry Jeudy's ADP is 38. That's fine, because if he doesn't pan out, we'll go right back to another young ascending guy. You can take Keenan Allen. Nah, I'm good. Dude had a really worrisome hamstring last year. I'll go Christian Watson. I met that kid at the combine. He's a great, great dude and a freak athlete. And there it is. I know we're going from Rodgers to Jordan Love, but you know, the guys, all the other guys here at Fantasy Points love him. Talking about manufactured touches, which, hey, by the way, I brought up to him being like Debo in the NFL, and he was all for it, even though he never did in college. And guess what? He had 9 carries and 2 rushing touchdowns. So we kind of saw that one coming. So now we open up balanced here with Watson as our third receiver, with that one anchor stud running back, Nick Chubb. Pretty darn good right here. Let's move on. And again, once again, I mean, do we like a running back here? That's always the question. And I mean, many pass to a championship, but we do feel that need because of some certain running backs that we like a lot. I mean, it's somewhat early, but when it's pick 60 here, I don't even think Kyle Pitts is going to be around pick 60. So we'll go Pitts, and we will go Lawrence. I'm pretty sure that's what I did. Yeah. We will go Lawrence. It's just the right thing to do. We certainly want to. No, we don't want to do that. Rachaad White is tempting, but we certainly want to get our QB that we feel good about, because if we don't take Lawrence here, yep, that's it. We miss out on Watson. So I'm going with Daniel Jones for sure as my backup plan to Watson, but I'm a little more inclined to not even get there. So I'm just going to go Lawrence because, hey, like them. And we've already got 3 good receivers and other backs that we like that'll be available later. So it's a very good start as far as I'm concerned here. Drafting from the 6 hole here up to round 7, pick 84. Ooh, Elijah Moore is a one recommend. Oh, that's probably because I had running back unchecked there. Just want to make sure, see what I did here. Yeah, of course. This is perfect. We can get a nice RB2 at 84. How much longer will we be able to do that? I don't know. I think we got lucky. Although, oh man, we could have taken Javonte Williams. Of course, that's risky as our RB2. So Rashad, thank you. Thank you, Rashad, for being the value that you are this year. We're going to go right back to running back as well, by the way. I want to make sure this is what I did. Yes, it is. I've already done this, by the way. I've done this multiple times to find the best route. And boy, James Cook is everywhere in round 8. I will not stop taking James Cook. And I even took him over Javonte, which we do have James Cook projected for more points. That was a tougher call for sure. Maybe should have meant Javonte just to mix it up a little bit. And because we ignored running back for so long, we're going to hit it hard here again with Mr. Boring, because we're in round 9 at 108, and it's Brian Robinson o'clock. I know he's boring, but they're going to run the rock plenty. Spoke with Ron Rivera myself about Brian Robinson, and they're going to get him the ball a little bit in the passing game on early downs. That'd be nice. Let's see what we did. Yeah, we went a little boring here after this at receiver, because we haven't hit receiver since round 4. So we'll go Jacoby Myers, very cheap guy for catches. And then I actually took another receiver just to mix it up a little bit. His ADP is 138. We're at 132. I mean, for all the Sky Moore love I give, I did like Rashee Rice all the way back to the Senior Bowl when I watched him for a week. There was a couple of plays I thought it was Jaden Reed, and it was like, oh, wait, that was Rashee. Interviewed Rashee Rice, too. Great kid. Really great kid. Very friendly. Even though he's a dog on the field. We get Chiggy, of course. It's what we do in 2023 when we're drafting optimally as a tight end 2. And then we continue here in round 13. So far, we have just the 1 QB. Starting lineup of Trevor Lawrence, Nick Chubb, Rachaad White, Amon-Ra, Jerry Jeudy, Christian Watson. So a pretty good 3. Kyle Pitts, and then James Cook and Brian Robinson with Jacoby Myers, Rashee Rice, and Chiggy Okonkwo on the bench. And we're up here for the double pick, so I guess it doesn't really matter. We do need to take Ken Pickett here, or else we'll get hosed. So we'll just grab a little Ken Pickett, and then probably my guy Rashid Shaheed again. Yeah, it's a great 5th receiver. for some upside potential, and we'll finish it off with the Gus bus because he has emerged quickly here as a viable stash and hope kind of dart throw last pick of the draft, given that weird J.K. Dobbins situation. So there's the draft from the 12 hole. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Nick Chubb, Jerry Jeudy, Christian Watson, very balanced open. Kyle Pitts and Trevor Lawrence addressing starting positions. Boom. Screw depth. Rachaad White as our RB2, a great value. James Cook, a really nice RB3/flex. Brian Robinson, a value at the very least. He's boring. And then some boring guys and some upside guys. Well, mostly upside guys. We go Jacoby Myers is boring, but Rashee Rice and Rashid Shaheed as upside receivers. Gus Edwards, kind of an upside guy at this point. Kenny Pickett, of course. Chiggy Okonkwo, there it is. Let's see how we made out. I guess we kind of drafted optimally here, for sure. So we should finish high. Let's take a look. Starter points, number 1. Total points, number 2. So that is yet another and the final example of implementing my draft plan and my players to target to draft gurifically. I don't think these teams I've drafted are as volatile as others have been in the past. I've been a little bit too enamored with young, ascending, sexy picks. But the good news is there are those types this year who are just down the board a little bit and not getting the usual love. You know, a guy like Rachaad White 5 years ago wouldn't have gotten out of the top 50, I don't think, given the massive role he's looking at. But yet, here he is. You can get him in the 7th round. So I think we're maximizing these drafts, basically, and that's the goal to the whole deal here. And by the way, you know, final thought, I should have said this on all these videos. I guess it goes without saying. You know, a lot of these late-round wide receiver picks, Rashee Rice, Jacoby Myers, Shaheed, I think Myers will be solid. But, you know, I think I'll be happy if one of the 3 hit, basically. We know we're going to be doing some work on the waiver wire as well. So there it is, the final podcast here in this series of 12, drafting from that 12 spot. The double pick is nice, but sometimes you do need, it does dictate things. Like that double pick kind of made me take Lawrence there when I took him in the 6th, because if not, I was going to wait a long time and I wasn't going to get Watson. So still, a little bit of an overpay maybe, but I doubt it. And I still like getting those 2 picks back to back because this team came out pretty darn good. So I'll wrap it up here. Thanks for listening, liking, subscribing, commenting, all that good stuff. And we'll catch you next time.